All right, what's up, everybody? It's Ethan here, coming to you from the Limpia Creek Trailhead and the primitive area of Davis Mountain State Park, just outside of Fort Davis, Texas. So, as you can see, there's one other car here at the trailhead this beautiful, chilly Sunday morning. I am obviously, as the name would suggest, in the Davis Mountains of West Texas. This is actually the second tallest mountain range in the state of Texas, only topped by the Guadalupe Mountains, which of course I have also hiked in. But these mountains are, I would say, much less visited, and that's really saying something because the Guadalupe Mountains don't get too many visitors. So the Davis Mountains really don't get a lot of visitors. There's a lot of protected land here in the Davis Mountains, including the state park. There's also the Fort Davis National Historic Site right down the road from here, and there is also a nature preserve or wildlife preserve, something like that. And the wildlife preserve is not open to the public most of the year, but they do open it on certain weekends, like a few times a year. And there are a lot of hiking trails and different things you can do there that look pretty cool, including climbing to the tallest mountain in this range, which is well over 8,000 feet. So pretty cool. But anyway, I've actually got a hiking partner with me today. Say hello to Elsa. She is going to be joining me for this hike and possibly hikes in the future. We'll see how she does on this one. This one is about 1,000 feet of elevation gain and 9 miles round trip. And I can't wait to take you guys on this hike and show you the beauty of the Davis Mountains. All right, so right back there, I had to cross my first, like a pretty serious obstacle on this trail, especially with a dog. There's a creek down there, and it's like super full right now. And the trail just goes like right through it. And it's all like full of gross looking algae and stuff. And I just did not want to walk through it. I couldn't even tell how deep it was. It looked honestly pretty deep. So instead, I just went way down and then back up the other side of the creek bed. There's a spot, if you hike down the side of the creek bed, it eventually dries up and you can cross over the rocks. But yeah, that was pretty annoying. She's liking this. And it's certainly a beautiful morning. It's about 45 degrees right now, which is unusual for most places in Texas, but considering how high up in elevation we are, it makes perfect sense. When I woke up this morning, it was actually about 38, so it was pretty chilly. So this is like the third creek crossing now. They suck, especially with her. By myself, it wouldn't be a big deal, but I got to find a place where she's not going to be trudging through all that algae and trying to drink the water. So it does make it a bit more annoying to cross. So hopefully that's the last one or one of the last ones. I'm hoping there's not a bunch more. Or if there are more, that they're not as wide crossings as that. But it is beautiful out here, I will say that. All right, well, just started climbing up a little bit after about a mile of total flatness. The trailhead is out that way, and I hiked in through that little flat basin down there where the creek runs through. It's a beautiful area. I've been following the road up until now, so that'll be nice. Hopefully getting away from some of these car noises. I mean, it's not a very busy road. Maybe heard like 3 or 4 cars drive by the whole time I've been hiking, but still. It's definitely a very it's a beautiful trail. I mean, it's very I don't know, like it's like a combination of desert and mountains. So it's pretty cool scenery, I think. And you can see some of the taller mountains in the Davis Mountains out in that direction. That's all part of the Davis Mountains Preserve. All right, so we've climbed up a little bit. I'd say probably like 400 feet of elevation, not too much, but a little bit. And getting some great views. Like I said, out there, that's all part of the Davis Mountain Preserve. That is where the tallest peaks in the park are, or in the range. And a few of those are actually over 8,000 feet. So there are definitely some spots where you can get to a pretty decently high altitude out here in the Davis Mountains. Like I said, though, the preserve is only open like a few weekends out of the year. So you got to look on their website, and I think you can like get a permit for like a certain weekend that they're open, and then you can hike whatever trails they have there, which I believe they have quite a few. I don't know how much of it is actually like trails versus, you know, just kind of bushwhacking, but you definitely got a lot of options. And it looks like we're going down a little bit here, so that's always fun. All right, so hiked a little further in, going back up again, and actually way out there is the McDonald Observatory. Another spot you can visit while you're out here in this area. There's a lot to do around here, actually. They got Marfa, which is a cool little artsy town, kind of hipster famous, I guess, among people in Texas. A lot of people from Austin like visiting Marfa, so that should tell you all you need to know. But of course, there's also all this cool public land out here in the Davis Mountains that you can hike and mountain bike and all sorts of stuff. There's the McDonald Observatory, there's the Fort Davis Historic Site. Lots of interesting stuff out here. And of course, further south of here is Big Bend, but that I believe is like another 2.5 hour drive from here. Well, just wanted to stop to admire this view for a second. That is really cool. So I'm not sure which one it is, but one of those peaks out there is Mount Livermore, which is the tallest in the Davis Mountains, and it is the 4th tallest in the state of Texas. I believe it's like 8,300 feet, 82, 83, something like that. Which of course, you know, if you're living in like Colorado or Utah or something, you're like, that's nothing. But for Texas, that's a pretty tall mountain. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is a nice hike so far. It has not been too difficult. I think total elevation gain has maybe been like 500 feet so far. Very moderate. And I believe we're headed up in that direction. All right, well, I have hiked a little further in, and now I'm kind of on the back side of the ridge, kind of at the top of this little canyon, and finally far enough away that I can't hear the road anymore, which is great. So I finally feel like I'm in a little bit of a backcountry area. And it's still quite beautiful out here. And she is doing great. All right, so a few miles in, you get to the intersection with the Sheep's Pen Canyon Loop Trail. And so I'm gonna need to go right here. So you can, if you want to, I mean, it's a loop, so you could do the whole loop, but that would, I think, make it like a 13 or 14 mile total hike. And since I got her with me, I'm not willing to take a chance on doing that long of a hike for her first time going out with me like this. So I'm just gonna stick to doing the regular Limpia Creek Vista hike and call that good. All right, well, I made it up onto this little plateau up here. Very cool views of the Davis Mountains. And there's another mountain range over there that's coming into view as well. I don't know if those are part of the Davis Mountains or not. But anyway, if you look over here, there's the McDonald Observatory. So that's not too far from here. And yeah, it's very cool. I just saw something run across the trail up there. There's not too much chances of seeing wildlife here. I mean, there is a lot of wildlife out here, but I think the main ones, oh, there's the view. That's cool. But anyway, a lot of the bigger animals you'll see out here, I know there's javelinas, there's feral pigs, and stuff like that. I think there's also mountain lions and of course deer. I don't think there's elk this far into Texas. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think there is. All right, well, getting a bit of a different view now. You can see down to Fort Davis down there and the Fort Davis National Historic Site, and another mountain range across the basin there. So I think, could be wrong about this, but it looks like the trail's going to end up there. So that's probably going to be the viewpoint up there, which is fine by me. That looks like a good, like it'll be a good view up there. All right, so I do believe that is going to be near the end of the trail right there. But I'll tell you, up here, now it's warming up, there are these giant crickets that are like hopping all over the place. And they are so big, they like legitimate, like I thought they were frogs. The first couple of times I saw one, I thought it was like a small frog. And after I saw one land and I looked down at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's just a really gigantic cricket. So yeah, the crickets are kind of intense out here. I've honestly never seen them that big. All right, well, I am almost to the Limpia Creek Vista. Should be getting there pretty soon here. Getting another view over to the taller peaks in the Davis Mountains again. And the other side has some good views as well. So kind of getting views of both from up here, both sides, which is pretty cool. And in you know what, I always just love the fact that like almost every time I do a hike out here, whether it's in like West Texas or southern New Mexico, all these hikes I've been doing have just hardly had any people on them. Like I literally saw two people. There was one other car at the trailhead this morning, and I saw the two people that car belonged to as I was hiking in. I just passed that first creek crossing when I saw them, and since then it's just been me and her the whole time. So that's just always pretty nice. I mean, it's just unheard of when I lived in Colorado, you know, to have trails that didn't have just dozens of, if not hundreds of people on them. And here it's pretty easy to find trails like that, it seems. Okay, so we are at another trail junction. This trail goes up to the Limpia Creek Vista, which according to this is the highest point in the park at 5,700 feet. And then that way we'll continue you on the on this loop trail. So, you know, if you do want to do the whole loop, you definitely can. Like I said, it does add a couple extra miles onto the hike. But yeah, this is where you branch off of the loop and head up to the top of the vista. And she's still doing good. I think she's starting to get a little tired, but hopefully I don't have to carry her back. I mean, come on, she's a husky. She should be able to do some longer hikes, right? This one isn't even that long. It's only 9 miles. Well, I actually think it might be a little bit longer than 9 miles. That's what All Trail said, but based on what my phone is telling me, it's a little bit longer, but we'll see. All right, made it to the top of Limpia Creek Vista. And like that sign said down there, this is the tallest point in the state park. Obviously not the tallest point in the Davis Mountains, but the tallest point in the park at 5,700 feet. So you can actually see, I'm not sure which one it is, but one of those peaks over there is Mount Livermore, which is the tallest mountain in the Davis Mountains, and the fourth or fifth tallest mountain in the state of Texas. Out of, I think it's like 82 or 8,300 feet. But yeah, that's all the Davis Mountains Preserve back there. And then over here, all that area over there is all part of the Fort Davis National Historic Site. There is actually a trail that will connect you between there and the state park if you want to do that. And then the town of Fort Davis is down there. And then you can see there's another mountain range. There's a big valley, and then another mountain range out there. Really cool. That's looking south towards Marfa. Yeah, really cool. Definitely a great hike to get up and see some really good views of the Davis Mountains. And of course, there's the McDonald Observatory out there. And of course, you know, it's not quite as, I don't think having been here now, I'd say the Davis Mountains aren't quite as cool as the Guadalupe Mountains. But honestly, maybe that's just because I haven't actually been in the Davis Mountains Preserve. Maybe I'll change my mind on that when I go there. But it is really hard to beat the Guadalupes. They are some pretty spectacular mountains. Definitely, I think, the coolest place that I've been to out of anywhere so far in Texas. But this area is really nice too, and it is remote and very quiet out here. I mean, there are no people. Like I said, I saw 2 people at the very beginning of the trail. They were on their way out. I think they were backpacking, and that's it. Other than that, it's just been me and Elsa here. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break and enjoy the views, and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. All right, well, I'm still up at the top. Hung out here for a while because I wanted to give her a nice long break, and she did take a little nap, but she's looking good. I think she's ready to go. And so we're gonna start heading back down the mountain, or whatever you want to call this. But yeah, it was a really beautiful hike, and actually you can even see some fall colors down there. Not too much, but there's a little bit. But yeah, this is a really cool viewpoint for sure. And not too tough to get up here. It took me about 2 hours to get up to the top here. According to my phone, it was 4.8 miles. So it's going to be like closer to 10 miles round trip. But, you know, not that difficult, honestly. It really wasn't that difficult. It's only about 1,000 feet of elevation gain, so I think that's very manageable for most people. Okay, well, we just passed the junction for the trail that leads back to the trailhead. I don't even know what it's called. And the Sheep Canyon one. So got about 2.5 or so miles left on the hike. And of course it's almost all downhill. And that's good because Elsa over here has seen better days. She's doing okay, but she's definitely getting a little tired. I'm trying to keep her as hydrated as I can and keeping her fed and all that stuff, but she's her walking in front of me right now. This is not the norm for the hike down. Most of the hike down she's been walking behind me, so hopefully I won't have to carry her down because she's not like that heavy, but she's like almost 40 pounds, so big enough. All right, well, I am almost back down. You can see the roads right there. And there's the creek down there, which I'm gonna have to cross a fun 3 times. But I'm almost down to the flat part. And from there, I believe it's a little under a mile to go. Which is good because she is absolutely beat right now. I feel so bad for her. I think this might have been a little too long for her first big hike. But she's still walking, so at least she's willing to work with me. I appreciate that. All right, well, I am getting back to the trailhead. And my phone says I've gone 10 miles. All Trail says it's 9 miles. So I guess I'll go right in the middle and call it 9.5 miles. But either way, definitely a solid hike. About 1,000 feet of elevation gain, but it's spread out over, you know, most of the trail. So it's pretty, I mean, there's some parts that have like decent little uphill climb, but not really. For the most part, it's a pretty moderate hike. And Elsa here got her second wind apparently, so she's been killing it for like the last mile, which is great. I was getting worried about her for a bit. As you can see, my car is still the only vehicle here at the trailhead. Like I said, I saw 2 other people at the very beginning of the hike, and since then I have not seen another person the whole day. It's been just me and the dog, which has been great. So I'll give you guys one last view of this area, the Davis Mountain State Park. Pretty awesome hike, pretty cool area. Definitely a great place to go if you're looking for solitude. It is a Sunday, so a lot of trails would be packed on a Sunday, not this one. It's just me the whole day. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys soon for another hiking adventure.